What's going on, guys? Rhino here with Rhino's Stuff. The stuff I've got on my table today is the latest and greatest from JoyUsing. It's the V600 document camera. It is currently live on Kickstarter, and yeah, you guys get to see it here first, or close to first. So we got a 12 megapixel camera, we've got 4K resolution, and about 30 frames per second at 4K. You get a lot better at 1080p, but that's just to be expected. Let's take a look inside the box, and let me oogle this product, because I'm absolutely in love with it. First thing under the phone, we've got our quick start guide. Just, tells you how to connect it to the computer and all. We've got the foam mat. This is what you place down on a table so you, don't get any glossy glariness, and it's specifically for shiny surfaces like I've got. Underneath that, we've got our camera, and you kind of see right there, it's got a remote built into the line. We'll talk about those buttons here in a second. And right here, it's got a tripod, a mount for a tripod. You can mount it here, or you can hook this up and connect it to the back of your monitor so you can use this as a webcam. And we'll be testing out those functionalities here in a few minutes. You see right here, it's got this little slidey-do and these two buttons here. That's how it clips into place. It's pretty secure. Here is the actual camera. And as I said, I'm in love with this thing. I have obviously unboxed this and used it, otherwise it'd be still bagged up and stuff. But wow, that is sleek. Like, this is modern, beautiful. Yeah. So we got our buttons here. Push them in, and the camera slides right out. So we got our camera right here. We've got our microphones right here. A little indicator light on the side that tells you it's being used. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up for this. You got some rotation there. No up and down. That's actually built into that part right there. Connect that back into place. The line is attached here. It does go through the tubing. And yes, it can be pulled and removed because, like I said, you can use this as a webcam. The base here is really very solid. I'm pretty happy with the bases on a lot of their units, but this base is like super weighty. You can get this into pretty much any position. Also, right here, we've got another mount. If you want to mount this on a tripod, you can sort of set this up as like an overhead camera for your desk, which it kind of is already, but you can get some really wild angles using this thing attached to a tripod. And here's the remote that's built into the line. We've got our mirror button, zoom out, zoom in. We've got our still image or capture button here, and we've got our autofocus button there at the top. On this side here, we've got a brightness slider. This is how you control the LED light. It's not a capacitive thing built into the light. You actually use this little slider right here to make it less bright or fully bright, and it can get pretty bright. It works really well when you're using it in webcam mode. On this side here, we've got our autofocus button, so you can have it continuously autofocus or stable autofocus, so once you find a good link or a good spot for it, you want to slide it over there, otherwise it will continuously try to focus on whatever is being closest to the camera. So I'm going to get this connected, and we're going to hook it up to the visualizer software from JoyUsing, and we're going to just walk through all of those features and see what it's like through their software. Then we're going to connect directly to OBS and use it as a webcam or one of my sources here, and we'll see what kind of nifty shenanigans we can get up to. So this is the JoyUsing app. This is the visualizer. We got buttons down here at the bottom of the screen, and we got some little doodads right over here along the side. That was the writing experience here. Right now you are seeing the Windows version. They also have it for your Macs. You've got it for your Chromebooks, and you got it on the web. It does have an Android version. I don't know about an iOS version, but the Android version I do know for sure does not currently work on Android 14. They'll hopefully fix that, because it would be pretty cool to use this thing. I'm just shaking it all around. It'd be pretty cool to use this thing with my phone. But in the meantime, using it on my computer is just fine, because, that's what I'm going to do at work anyway. So, yeah. This is 1080p. When I set it up to 4K, there is some lag. I don't have a computer that is strong enough. I've got like 4 cameras right here connected to it through different various hubs and things, and they're all powered, but the computer itself doesn't have enough power to run that camera, this camera, and my side camera all at the same time in a nice fluid way. So this is 1080p. It doesn't look like you're getting 30 frames per second there, but you also got to remember that the other cameras I've got in the room are currently filming at 60 frames per second, so it is going to look different. When I turn off the other cameras and don't have them plugged into this computer, it does look a little bit better. I will record some of that and I will play that. And this is what it looks like at 1080p, recording directly from the visualizer software. You can see the lag is very, very minimal, and yeah, it just looks great. I'm going to use the buttons here and see if I can zoom in. I certainly can, so you've got all of the functionality when you're recording videos as you would otherwise. So that's pretty awesome. I'm impressed. And this is what it looks like in 4K. And here we are recording at the highest resolution, the 4K, and this is what it looks like. It, again, has an excellent picture quality here. There is some slight lag to it, but not nearly as bad as when I was trying to run this through OBS. So you got that going for you. So there you go. That's what it looks like when you're recording through the visualizer software, which is what we're experiencing right now. So let's take a look here at all the buttons. Right here, you've got your brightness and your contrast, your exposure. You can also set the focus here. It is automatic. You also have the button here on the remote. I did have the remote set so it would focus on like this portion and not anything that was closer. You can see it's not trying to autofocus onto my hand there. It's focusing on what's down here. Right here, you can change the resolution. It does go all the way up to 4000 by 3000. If you're taking still photos, go for it. If you're trying to do video at that high of a resolution, you're probably not going to have a good time. The regular 4K here is okay. But like I said, 1080p is perfectly fine, especially if you're going to be using this as like a conferencing thing. You're not going to want to record at those higher resolutions. We're going to try it when we run it directly through OBS, though. It will make a difference. We got our freeze button here. So I'm talking to you, I'm wiggling my hands all the way around, and yeah, you can see it's not doing anything on the screen because I had it frozen. We've also got our brightness contrast here. Contrast, brightness, saturation. You can turn that saturation all the way up. Here's a couple little colorful cards here. And let's turn up that saturation and see how nasty we can make it look. Woo, that's bright. That is entirely too bright. Much more bright than real life. So yeah, saturation does pretty good. Set it to default. Okay. Right here, this is a pretty cool feature. This allows you to take a picture of a portion of the screen. You can see it lays out that red outline. That's the page that it's going to be taking a picture of. And you can use the other tools down here at the bottom, the OCR and the PDF, and you can save that part as a PDF file, or you can save it as an OCR text file. The last time I used this, the OCR was saving to a text file. I'm not sure if it saves to a PDF. Let's find out right now. So here we are with the new Fun with Dick and Jane. Let's just turn it to a page here in the beginning of the book because it's a little bit flatter this way, and I will click on this button here so it detects the pages. See, we got one page nice and detected there. I'll go ahead and click the picture button. There we go. We got the picture right there off to the side. Now we are going to select the picture here, and we're going to click on OCR. I'm going to turn that blinky thing off. Wowzers. Now I'm going to click on OCR, and there's the page as it was, and we're going to do OCR recognition. Save this as a PDF file here in my documents. We'll save it as 1, 2, 3, starting the recognition. So you're seeing this in real time, and yeah, it took like, what, 10 seconds? But of course, that was just one page. And let's open up the file and see what it's like. Alright, so here we are in the PDF viewer, and you can see I can actually select those words. Yeah, so there you go. OCR does work, and that's kind of the look at the page that you would get. Alright, so I've freezed the page here on the screen, and we can go through and use some of these other tools. So we've got our writing tools here. We've got our pencil. You can select the different sizes right there. You can select the opacity. So if you're just doing some highlighting, that's what you would use right there. And it works a treat. I really like the highlighting feature. That's something that I wish some of the other softwares would use. They can do it very well. And you can change it to whatever color you want to. So there's yellow. There we go. There's yellow. Tom. And do it right there on the page. So what else we got here? We got our text tool so you can type. Of course, it is typing in the color that I put there, so that's probably not very good. You can bold it, you can italicize it, you can change the font, all of that other stuff. So, yeah. Texting. It works. What else we got here? We got our shape tool. I'm going to change my colors real quick so it's a little bit easier to see. Yeah, how about that shocking color there? And let's turn the brightness all the way up. Let's do some shapes. So, circles. Yep. Oval. Yep. I'm not sure what the difference is between those two, but hey, it exists. We got a triangle tool. Yeah, it's a triangle. Rounded edges. And we've got a rectangle. Very nice. There's your tools. Got our eraser here, so you can erase little bits at a time, or of course you can just click that button and clear it all off. This goes back to the main screen here where you can zoom. This right here zooms on your screen. This right here zooms into the picture, and I think that's pretty cool that even with a still image, you have the ability to zoom in, and you can see how much clarity it kept there. So even zoomed in, you're getting a really good picture. This does have, I believe, 10 times optical zoom, might be 5 times optical zoom. I will put that information right. You can't see that because I've got it frozen. I'll put that right there. Yeah, I'm going to put it right there. First we can zoom back out. We can rotate the screen every which way, and we can put it back up to the full size. And that's essentially everything you need to know about that visualizer software. Sort of. So let's test this thing out in 4K and higher resolution in a webcam mode directly here through OBS, not using their software. And here we are recording directly into OBS at 1080p. This is the right out of the box experience. All I did was turn on OBS and set this as a video source. This is what it looks like in my office with my lights and everything just exactly the way it is for my other cameras. I did not change any settings for the video. Of course, the audio you're hearing is coming out of my fancy microphone right here, and I think it's time to switch it to the microphones built into the camera. So let me adjust that real quick, and I'll get right back to you. And this is my filter-free voice coming through the microphone built into the V600 document camera from JoyUsing. I have not added any filters. I have not done any tweaking. All I did was turn up the little gain slider thing there on OBS. That's it, because when you set up a new audio device, it sets it there in the middle. So I just pumped it up, so it's now getting right there close to the red, and sometimes it gets way into the red. So I'm not exactly sure what you guys will be hearing. I'll have to play it back and find out. But yeah, this is the audio with that speaker, and let me turn it back to my Samson real quick. And this is what it sounds like coming through my fancy microphone. Yes, there is an obvious difference, but you know, this is the microphone that is expensive, whereas the other was the microphone that came built in with a document camera that you're going to be using as a webcam or for streaming. So again, this is the audio that you would get if you were using just this camera in a streaming situation like a Zoom call or something when you're making videos for your class. It's more than acceptable, and I think for a document camera, they're pretty darn good. So again, this is the microphones built into the V600, and of course this is what you get when you upgrade and pay a lot more. But obviously that's going to sound better. It's not really a fair comparison. Just know that the ones built into the camera itself there are pretty decent for what they are. So there you go. This has been the JoyUsing V600 document camera, 12 megapixel, 4K capable. It does 30 frames per second with a little asterisk there, and it's made out of metal. It's got an excellent base. It's got an inline control, and you guys were able to see what the software's like. You were able to see what the video was like if you're using this thing as a webcam, not just a document camera. And I do think that functionality there brings this up a notch, because you can literally put it anywhere. You just unclip it from here, pull out the cable from the base, and attach it to whatever you want to attach it to, and it does an excellent job. I'm super impressed with the V600 here. I am glad I got my hands on one of these. I'm glad I got to share it with you guys. I've always been impressed with JoyUsing, and their software just keeps getting better. There were some issues with the OCR a long time ago. They have fixed that, as you guys saw. So there's really nothing I can say that would be like, don't get this. Like, there's nothing but positives about this. Even the price is pretty darn good for this capable of a document camera. So JoyUsing V600, do I approve? Heck yeah. Will I leave links down there in the descriptions? Of course. So yeah, check those things out. Like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I will see you all later. Bye.